Greetings, I'm Epictetus, and this is Epic Tech. Hooray! I finally figured out the oxygen issue, by the way. It was really weird. I probably spent an hour trying to figure out what was going on. Somehow, when I switched my windows around, because they were facing the wrong direction and making it so I couldn't build on the inside, I managed to do something, I have no idea, that made this room not pressurize. And I was sitting here trying to figure out pressurization and like how to automate things, and it would not pressurize. So I ended up literally removing all of the flat windows, those over there, these over here, those over there, and turning them around probably 3 times, as well as all kinds of other crazy things. I ended up making this path back here, which I think actually solved the problem, because these windows are now stuck down to this path on the back. And, well, the room pressurizes now, so I'm not going to worry about it. I spent so much time on that. Oh, so horrible. Anyway, but things are good. My windows are facing the direction I want them to. I can do everything I need to do, and I can now pressurize the room. And I've got it all automated just the way I like. That also took a while because things were acting weird. But I'm going to show you how I did it. Over here, I piled up 3... You can't see the third one down there, but I piled up 3 timer blocks. And I'm not really using the timing mechanism on the timer blocks, but I'm using the ability to do a bunch of actions. And, well, let me just show you how it works. So you see that light's red. That means this room is depressurized. There's no oxygen in here, but that's okay. If I want to pressurize it, I can hit that button. It will automatically close all of the doors, like this. And as soon as those doors close, the vents turn on. There we go. And the room slowly pressurizes. And as soon as that light turns green, that means I can take my helmet off. Hooray! Yeah. Cool, huh? And now I can look at you and wave. Whee! And all is well. And I don't have to worry about oxygen. Cool, huh? And then I can do all my work in here, building, whatnot, and not have to really think about oxygen and etc. But if I want to go outside, I can either use this one, which does, you know, it just basically pulls a little more oxygen out. And then I have not yet automated the closing of these doors, which I probably should do, and I'm going to do right now. If I can... I think the only way... Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. Okay. Let me grab that color. Place that there. I just realized... See, I had to actually pull out my medical room and put it back again. And I just realized that I didn't put it back to the color I like. Because medical rooms should always be red. Don't you think? I think so. There we go. Much better. Alright, let me put this in place. And then I'm going to put up sensors. Just like last time. Not red, though. Kind of want them to disappear. I need interior plate and a bunch of other things. I need these and these, and a bunch of those, and probably some of these, and anything else? Computers. Also need computers, apparently. Oops, that's not computers. That's computers. Alright. So we're going to slap this guy up here. Turn him the right way up. Build him. And I haven't tested this. Once again, just like last time, I didn't test it first. I'm just assuming this is going to work. Alright, so we're going to set it up to... actually, doesn't matter. We want to just see players. And right now, this is okay. I'm going to change this. I don't need to detect above the door. And I don't want to detect behind the sensor. Below the sensor should be fine. You know what? It's going to be easier to see if I go to Info, Show Sensor Field Range, go back to my control panel, and Show on HUD. This is a handy little feature. So this now shows me where my sensor can see. That's way too far. Way more than I wanted. I'm going to turn all of these down to basically 0. except for bottom, which, yeah, I actually need that to be at probably 3, and I want that to be, yes, that's exactly what I want. Okay, so this is only going to detect when I'm very close to this door. And I'm going to have it only act when I leave. When I set up set action, or when I set up actions, this is what happens when I enter the area. This is what happens when I leave the area. And in this case, the inner door I want to close whenever I leave that area. Now I'm going to do another one on the other side. So if I walk through here, as soon as I get to there, it closes. Okay? And my jetpack is... Or my... Yeah, okay, that's good. And then I'm going to do the same thing out here. Let's go ahead and set that up. And we'll... Come on now. Do I have everything? What am I short? Detector components. By 2. Okay. So, close that by hand. Open that. I don't know, it always turns on the jetpack, which is unfortunate. Alright, let's make... I'll just make 10 of those. No, not 100. Good grief. 10. There we go. 1, and I just needed like 2 of those, right? Yeah, always turns on the jetpack. That's okay. I guess it's not too bad. I think a lot of times they assume you're going to be going out into space when you do that. Alright, so sensor, I'm actually going to change that to outer. And we're going to do the same settings, which is left, right, top, bottom's going to go down to 3, no back, no front. We still want those same settings, set up actions, and then this time door outer, close. Alright. This, and I didn't turn on show on HUD, which I actually don't want on this one, but I'm going to change the other one, turn that off. Sensor inner, show on HUD off, because we don't want that red. Alright, so, in theory, when I walk through this, that automatically closes. I turn that on. Oh, it blew me back far enough that okay. Yeah, okay. Let's do this. Let's go find that sensor inner. And I think I am going to have the back extent a little bit more. So now it throws me back, but it yeah. The only problem with that is when I open this and then I go in, it doesn't close behind me. Alright, I'll fiddle with that later. Let me show you how... Whatever. Alright, I'm going to show you how the rest of this works. So I'm going to set up depressurizing, because I want it to depressurize. And you notice that light starts blinking red. And as soon as it's done depressurizing, it goes to red, and this whole area is now depressurized. The other thing it does, which I didn't show you, if I pressurize again... And I really should have some sort of light saying when it's pressurized, like blinking when it's pressurizing or whatnot. But anyway, when I depressurize, if I try to walk out of here, note how the door doesn't open? Same thing with the hangar doors. But as soon as it finishes depressurizing, then I can open the door. And there was still pressure in there, so it threw me backward there. See, now it closes, and that one closes. Alright. Okay, but you didn't come here to see all that. Oh, no, you did. I wanted to show you how that actually works. So, I've got these 3 timers back here. And the 2 buttons in there actually trigger these, well, 2 of these. So this one right here is called Timer O2 Pressurize. When you tell it to pressurize, set up actions, it does all of these things. It closes the hangar door, it closes the outer door, it closes the inner door, and it turns the vents, it doesn't really show you here, but it turns the vents to pressurize. It turns off the red light and off the green light, and that's where I probably want to fiddle with things. It turns off the oxygen generator and it turns on the oxygen tank. There's a lot of things to do. Okay. Then, let's see, that was pressurize, which means that when it's done, air vent 1, that's depressurize. Sorry, I've got a couple of vents doing different things. There we go. So when air vent 2 detects that the room is pressurized, it turns on the green light. Okay? This is when it's depressurized, it turns on the red light. That make sense? Yeah. All right, so then we've got these two. This one is depressurizing. The other one is depressurized. So when it's depressurizing, it turns off the 3 doors, so it locks them so you can't do anything with them. It turns off the green light. It turns the vents to pressurize, or depressurize, I mean. It sets the blink for the red light. It turns on the blink level. And then it turns on the red light, and then it turns off the oxygen generator and on the tank. Whew. Yeah, all that. Then I don't know why I'm going back and forth to these. Then the air vent 1 detects that the room has depressurized and triggers the third timer, which turns on the hangar doors and the 2 other doors, but it doesn't open or close them. Just turns them on so you can if you want. And then it turns the generator back on, turns the tank off, turns the red light on. Yeah, turns the green light off just in case it was on. And then decreases the blink level, which puts it back to 0 so it won't blink anymore. Whew. Yeah. Lots of crazy, but it works. And it works well. The only things I need to do are actually set up the buttons over here. So if I go in and find my timers, I want pressurize. I don't know that I would ever actually pressurize from the outside. I'll do it anyway. Trigger now. And then depressurizing. I never trigger depressurized by itself because it actually comes after that one. So I can come in here now and say depressurizing, and it will wait until the room is depressurized. Wait a minute, was it pressurized? There we go. Yeah, see, it's flashing red. Oh. But it was already depressurized. That's a little bug in my programming there. Well, there would be a reason I'd want to pressurize. Alright, so it's pressurizing right now, but I actually want it depressurized. So in theory... There we go. So now I can open the door. So yeah, if I try to depressurize it when it's already depressurized, I kind of end up locking myself out. I'll fiddle with that later. Well, I no longer need this button. Let me just remove that one. That was my old one. Alright, so now I can pressurize and depressurize at will, as well as, of course, open the doors. There you go. Alright, now, I promised you a drill ship. I promised myself a drill ship. I need a drill ship. Okay, let's start making a drill ship. I do not want a large drill ship. By the way, I learned something. So when you're starting a ship, It's common to put down a landing gear. It just kind of keeps it stable while you're building it. Even if you grind it off later, it's a good idea. But it always starts off this direction because it's kind of thinking you're going to place it down and attach it to the ground. But you actually want it this direction. And every once in a while I rotate it around and I go, oops, it's too far. It's too, it's being goofy. Did you know that if you hold down Control while you spin it, it actually stays flat? Whoops. What just happened there? Okay, that was cool. I have no idea what just happened there. Okay, it's back. I was spinning it around and it started to get small. Got a little tiny landing gear. That's amazing. That has got to be a bug. Okay, that was interesting. All right, we'll leave and come back. It'd be cool if that was like some like I want it to do it again. Come on, do it again. Whoa, it's getting bigger this time. Wait, will it actually... Oh. That would have been cool if you could make little tiny ships. Kind of a... Oh, no. Okay, fine. We'll just go ahead and do this the old normal size. All right. I don't actually need to build this up because I don't think I'm going to be keeping it. But let's grab a couple of things here. I think that... And motors. I'm going to be doing a lot of running back and forth, but I just want to get this built. The rest I'm just going to frame out. Alright, I like to see the green, even though I know it's locked. Okay, so here's my thought. I need a cockpit, but I'm actually thinking I'm going to start with a cargo container. Nope, not that one. What is that? An ejector? Don't need that. Let's go with a medium cargo container. And do I want to start with a cargo container? No. No. I'm going to start with this guy. Yeah. And I need an oxygen generator so I don't die. Because dying is not my favorite thing. Alright. And I happen to know that there are two perfectly lined up connectors on the back of a cockpit for the oxygen generator. Have you ever noticed that? They line up perfectly, and then the other side lines up perfectly with the bottom of the cockpit. I think they might have done that on purpose. Alright, so then drills. And the drills are also kind of cool because that port on the back there lines up perfectly with the port on the front, and then the side ports line up with each other. Come on. There we go. And then I like to have... Is it going to let me do that? No. Should I just stick with 3? It's probably fine. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. We'll do 3. So those will pass all their ore into the center one, which will pass it through the cockpit, through the oxygen generator, and then there's now a large connector on the back for the, not the small one, for this one. So that should connect up right there, so all the ore will end up in there. And then we're going to put a connector on the back of that, which we will use to connect to the station later. Cool? I think it's cool. Alright, so now we need ourselves some thrusters. ion thrusters. Okay. I want one in every direction, at least. Think for going left and right, I'll be okay with 2 each. Should I put things on the... Well, obviously not there, because if I point it there, it's going to burn off my my drills. So I think, well, let's do backward first. I want to be careful that I've got a connector. So when this connector connects up to my base, I'm going to have a wall basically here. And thrusters have a damage distance of about 3 blocks. So I don't want to go any further back than that, unless I plan on destroying things. I think I'm going to do 4 backward and 2 forward, like that. So same thing on the other side. Like that. And then I need up and down, of course. We'll just do 2 up and 2 down. Like that. Out of large steel tubes. Not anymore. Alright. That look good? I think that looks good. Okay, so that's forward, backward, up, down. Now we need left and right. I think we could do those underneath. So, yeah. It's always a pain to get underneath. It won't hurt to just put them there. And I don't find that I need a lot of thrust. Oh, I can't put that there. That's right in front of the forward thrusters. I guess I could put it there. I'll just put it down there. Actually, if I'm going to do 2 in each direction... Yeah, that would have been bad. I'm sure I would have noticed it before I actually flew. But yeah, that would have... That thruster would have destroyed that thruster, probably blowing up everything on that side and killing me. All right. The first time I tried to stop, anyway. I'm going to need some gyros and some power. And I've only got 2 pointing down. I need more pointing down, don't I? Because while there might not be a lot of... There's not a lot of gravity here. There's definitely enough to make me fall out of the sky if I don't have enough. So that should be good. And then let's get some gyros. I'm a big fan of gyros. Put those there. And there. And then let's go ahead and fire this all up, because then I'm going to figure out where to put other things. So I'll be back in a sec. Oh gosh, this episode's gone long. How did that happen? Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to weld all this up so far. It's not quite done yet, but I'm going to weld all of this up so far and come back next episode and show you the last few things I attached to it, as well as we'll take the maiden voyage. I'll also take comments on naming this. I can't just call it drill ship. I need a good name. So I will take the best name of all the comments. It's probably going to be like 1 or 2. But that's okay. And I'll give a shout out to whoever came up with the best name. All right. I'll see you next time on Epic Tech.